Ollie. Welcome back to You in Korea. I hope you are all safe wherever you are. Let me briefly remind you that You in Korea is a channel for those who love Korea, who want to learn more about this country. Here I'm trying to share with you guys some stories of my life for the past 10 years in Korea, some information about the country in general, and some things that may not be well known worldwide. I hope you like watching our videos. If you enjoy watching our videos, please subscribe to our channel, give us thumbs up, and leave your feedback in the comment section. Finally, the spring is here. The long winter is over and it's finally warm again. As I mentioned before, Korea has 4 distinct seasons, which is spring, summer, fall, and winter. And spring in Korea is described as the season where everything comes back to life, which means that everything comes back to life after a cold winter. So today I want to dive with you guys into the charm of Korean spring. There are so many things to talk about when we talk about spring in Korea, and I'm pretty sure that people who live in countries with 4 distinct seasons will understand the whole joy of the coming spring. So spring in Korea and things to enjoy and things to do in Korea in spring is what we are going to talk about today. So what do you guys think about first when you think spring? Think about it. How can you tell when spring has finally come? Koreans have long believed that spring has only come when the ice melts, the water floats, the frogs come out, and the haze rises up from the ground. The messenger of the spring is also flowers. I think there are so many pretty spring flowers in Korea. I really like flowers, but when the unique scent of the spring and the fragrance of the colorful and beautiful spring flowers are mixed, a fantastic atmosphere is created. There are countless kinds of spring flowers in Korea, and especially yellow Furthacia and pink azalea are the messengers of the spring that brighten the hearts of those who see them. There is one place in particular that I want to introduce where you can see lots of beautiful azaleas in spring. It is called Mount Goryeo, and it is located on an island called Ganghwa-do, where every year in spring the mountains are covered in beautiful azaleas. Ganghwa-do is an island on the west coast of Seoul, and the airport you usually use when you come to Korea is Incheon International Airport, right? Well, Ganghwa-do Island is very close to the airport. Although Goryeo Mountain on Ganghwa Island is not very high, it's only 436 meters above the sea level. Well, there is a legend that the famous Goguryeo general Yong-Moon was born there. This Goryeo Mountain is famous for azaleas. The Azalea Festival is held there every year, so if you come to Korea in the spring, be sure to visit it. Do you guys know where spring in Korea comes first? Of course, it's Jeju Island. Jeju Island is a volcanic island and the largest island in Korea. It is so beautiful that it every year competes for the first and second place between the most popular places among foreigners. Jeju Island is also a favorite place for Koreans because of its exotic charm. Well, I've been there a few times myself. All 4 seasons of Jeju Island are wonderful, but especially in spring when flowers are in full bloom, it's attracting tourists to enjoy the season. Jeju Island is a place with delicious food, South Korea's highest mountain, Hallasan, and wonderful views of the sea. Let's enjoy spring in Jeju Island someday. Of course, we cannot leave out food because, well, you know already if you've been here long enough that each season in Korea has its own seasonal representative food that you must eat. So what do we eat in spring in Korea? There are many dishes, there are many foods that are good for your health and that also taste good, but today I will only mention one. If you ask Koreans about the representative seasonal food of spring, a lot of them will answer 도다리 쑥국 or flounder mugwort soup. It's pretty difficult to pronounce, right? 도다리 쑥국. 도다리 or flounder is a sort of spring fish in Korea, and suk is a plant mugwort. Flounder is very rich in protein, so it is good as a healthy food, and it is said to help strengthen immunity and prevent aging. It is said that mugwort purifies the blood, preventing adult diseases such as high blood pressure, as well as it just warms your body. I really like fish very much, and in this spring, I will definitely try the famous 도다리 쑥국. The first thing that comes to mind in Korea when we talk about spring is the beginning of the new school year. All schools in Korea start from March and end in February of the next year. The period from March to the beginning of the holiday vacations in summer is called the first semester, and the period from the end of the summer vacation to the February of the next year is called the second semester. So please remember that school year in Korea starts in spring. Most of you will probably be surprised because in most countries the new school year starts in September. So if you are planning to come to Korea to study, you should plan your trip really well. As you know, Korea is the most passionate country in the world of education. Higher education rates are also among the highest. That's why I think it's a very smart nation. Spring in Korea is the beginning of a new school year. Please remember that. Another thing that cannot be missed when talking about spring in Korea is March 1st. What kind of date is it? Well, I will explain. March 1st commemorates the movement that started in Korea in times of colonial Japanese rule. It's the day when the Koreans raced against Japan and declared their independence to the world. The national independence movement that began on March 1st, 1919, occurred almost simultaneously across the country, and is a historic independence protest movement that showed the spirit of the oppressed Korean people. Koreans believe that the Republic of Korea exists today only because of the many ancestors who sacrificed their lives for the country's independence from the Japanese rule. On March 1st of every year, along with commemorative ceremonies, the local national independence movement during the March 1st movement in 1919 is reproduced, and the flag is raised to commemorate it. Imagine this feeling of getting your country back on the day when all things come back to life and the beginning of spring. I mentioned this once in our video analysis of BTS Jin's Super Tuna, that if you guys really love Korea, you should also know the history of Korea accurately. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. Today we talked about things that come to mind when you think about spring in Korea. I want to say that there are so many places in Korea to visit. There are so many delicious foods to taste. And even though it is hard right now to travel due to COVID-19, I'm pretty sure the opportunities will soon come. I'm really hoping that someday we will all be able to enjoy the spring and the blooming flowers in Jeju Island or other places in Korea. Until then, please all be safe. I will be bringing more interesting topics about Korea in the future. If you enjoy watching our videos, please subscribe to our channel, give us thumbs up, and leave your feedback in the comment section. I'll be back soon, and until then, 안녕!